For the first part of the presentation, we're using Grafana to demonstrate the data that we've collected through our platform. We like to use Grafana because it's a great source for time series databases, and it tends to react really well with the data that we have coming through. So we have created two different dashboards. We've created an OE dashboard, which you can see right here. Um, some of this is actually just being pipelined through our platform directly, and then the rest are being calculated and then pipelined through the platform. So you can see that we have information such as OEE, PA, and Q. Then we have some availability and moving maximum and moving minimums. Um, as well, you can see that we have some of the rest of the metrics that we had demonstrated down here as well. As well, we've done some downtime recording and analysis from our platform. What we've done is we've brought all the information in, we've recorded the downtime, and you can see we've put this into an interactive dashboard where you can actually change the job jacket and change the time frame if you needed to actually see what sort of downtimes you have. Right below here, you actually have some of the breakdown as well as the total downtime as well. The next step in our presentation here today will be showing you the Dallas, how we're actually getting all the data flowing through. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. We have RBAC right here in our software. And what we got, I'm going to go ahead and log in. You can see that we have um, our 6 different components to our platform. We can connect to devices, which will show how we've done that. We're normalizing the data, we're analyzing the data at the edge, we're putting it into a model, we're sending it to our applications such as Grafana, and then we have the ability to integrate that with the cloud. And on the right, you have the CPU utilization, memory load, and just general information about the device. So let's get into it. You can see that we have all of our devices connected here, our ProveIt MySQL, ProveIt OPCUA, and then MQTT. And on the left-hand side, we have the ability to browse to our tags. Let's see, we have the ability to see that all of our tags right here um, that have been added have some associated topics with them. And next, we have the ability to go through and go ahead and browse some of these tags. You can see that folks have been adding tags here. I'm going to go ahead and drill into the what I want here. So you can see that we have some of the information here. You can find some of the data here. As well, we have the ability to look for some of the information. Let's say I want to look for quantity under OEE. I can go ahead and do that, and I'll be able to see some of the tags that I've added. I can have the ability to add these to my shopping cart here, add to cart, and then I'll have the ability to go ahead and select all these and then create all the tags if I wanted to. In this case, I'm obviously not going to do that because we've already done that, but that's something to be aware of. Um, once we've brought the tags in, we're actually doing putting everything into an equipment model. So if you go into the equipment model, you can see that there's the static attributes. These are attributes that are not going to change. So in this case, we're actually unifying the namespace here. We also have, we're transforming the data that is coming through. So you can see that the asset name is being parsed. What we got is, again, like asset name that's coming through from the tag name. We're actually parsing that. Same with machine type and a few others. We're doing some basic logic here as well. And then on top of that, we also have the dynamic attributes, the attributes that will change with time. Again, we're taking that and organizing that into our schema right here. You can see that in our schema, we actually have the ability to organize everything into the format that we want. And once we've created a model, we actually have the ability to inherit that into an instance as well. So I'm going to pick up one of the instances here. You can see that I have my static attributes. I have been able to populate that as I need to. We have dynamic attributes. I've been able to populate that using topics. And then lastly, I have been able to put that into a format after populating, and you can see some of the data is actually sitting right here. Great. Now, so we have a the information flowing through. We have it in a model. We've organized it. Now what's next? So if you wanted to do some analytics on the edge, you can see that we have done a few different analytics. We have done some moving maximums where we're bringing in data. We are moving the data through with a moving maximum, right? We're doing some calculations and we're publishing that into our time series database. Similarly, we've done some downtime reporting where we're bringing the data in, we're actually checking for change of value, then we're actually um, pushing that through to see if there's, if it's the filter says, hey, your data is equal to 1, we're actually pushing that through and calculating that somewhere back into our digital twin. And then lastly, we also have the ability to organize the data as we need to for our OE. So we're bringing the data in, doing some light scripting, and then publishing that into our time series database. Once we've done that, we'll have the ability to now, so over here we have our marketplace where we have our catalog applications. As you can see, some of the applications that we talked about, such as Grafana, our digital factory, some databases, Python, and some of our ProveIt applications are in here. We also have the ability to roll in AI applications. We know AI is big now, so we have applications such as DeepSync, Gemini Nano, and Llama being able to be deployed right here as well. The next step that we have the ability is actually, before I do that, I'm going to go back here. And we have the ability to um, go into Grafana or roll into our Grafana and our MS SQL containers as well. You can see that these are actually running right here as well. Next, we have the ability to connect to our cloud platforms over here. You can see that we have the ability to connect to um, MQTT, our Litmus UNS, and do our downtime reporting here as well. So if I go into our Litmus UNS, you can see that we have everything that some of the topics that we've populated here using our platform, and this is getting pipelined through to our enterprise data platform. The next step that I would like to show folks is our ability to publish this data into our Litmus UNS. So I'm going to switch tools. I'm going to go into our Litmus UNS tool, and you can see right off the bat you're greeted with with our dashboard. This dashboard will give us an overview of our um, clients connected, disconnected, the number of nodes, topics, and that sort of stuff. And then what we have is our Dallas plant. You can see right here that it actually is demonstrating all of our information right here. And we'll have the ability to see how it's actually configured as well. So we can see that the set of rules that we have, Dallas, Houston, Austin. So these are kind of like the next devices that sites that we're going to discuss. And then we have area and line as well. And the next thing that we have the ability to set up accounts as well as integrations and MQTT as well. So you can see all of our topics are actually publishing here. So at this point, we're gonna move on to the next stage of the presentation. The next step in our presentation is to talk about Litmus Edge Manager. So now that we've deployed everything in one Litmus Edge, what we're going to do is we're going to actually switch over to the to our enterprise software, Litmus Edge Manager. And right off the bat, you'll be able to see that Litmus Edge is made up of companies, projects where we have print factories and pulp and paper. And then within factories, print factories, we will have a number of devices shown. We'll see the overall view on what's online, what's offline, what sort of tags we have. We'll see overall utilization of CPU, network, and that sort of stuff. We have the ability to um, go through licenses and actually like update any sort of licenses and see sites. But more importantly, we have the ability to see all of our edge devices. So right off the bat, you can see that Houston right here does not have anything connected to it, and Austin does not have anything connected to it at this point. So there are blank Litmus edges, and then we also have Dallas that has some stuff connected to it at this point. All right, so what we're going to do, we are actually going to go into here, and we're going to go ahead and deploy some of these to our platform. So we have Austin. We're going to go ahead and deploy Austin here. We're going to give it a second. So what this is doing, it's actually pushing down a template. We've slightly modified the the tags that we had. Instead of calling it Dallas, now we've called it Austin. So we've done a control find and replace very quickly, and we're playing back the data. So you'll be able to see what sort of stuff is happening. As well, you have the ability to show Houston. I'm going to do the same thing with Houston. You can see that these are just being loaded now too. So you can see these connections are being added. Our equipment model and DTR downtime reporting output is there. Our analytics will show up in a second. And then you can see our applications as well. We have the containers running and our integrations. So the next thing that you see is we'll go into Austin. You can see that Austin has very similar as well. So we've got our application loading, connected, the digital twins are loaded, analytics, applications, and integration. All right, awesome. So at this point, we're actually sending some more data directly into our Litmus UNS. So you can see some of these pieces of data are coming through. So I'm going to go back into my Litmus UNS. We're going to show you the data coming through here. So you can see Dallas and Houston have now appeared. And also now we have Dallas and Houston as well here. So they're publishing, actively being published here as well. And you can see that the data is coming through. Great, that's awesome. The next step in our presentation is now to actually go into our Waco plant. I'm going to show you what we got here. Now, the next step in our presentation is to go through our pulp and factory plant that we alluded to earlier. What we got here is our pulp and factory where we are connected again to our edge device. You can see that there's nothing going through. I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you right here. And you can see that there's nothing in here. So what I'm going to do again, like before, I'm going to deploy a template down to our Polypin factory here. So this will take a second, but essentially what we're doing is we're actually spinning up a series of containers on our platform, which helps us put together a digital factory. It helps us do some data collection in MS SQL, and then as well, it's helping us to simulate some the environment using some simulated PLC. Then as well, we're collecting that data from the PLCs. We're doing some analytics. We are normalizing the data. We're doing some digital twins, and then we're pushing that all directly to our Litmus UNS, which is our MQTT broker. So as you can see, I'm just going to give it a second. I'm going to go into here. But essentially, in a nutshell, you can see that the devices are being connected. We'll go onto our applications. And the system is doing some work in the background, but you'll be able to see that it's downloading a series of images, which it will use to actually make some of the containers. And then you'll see right here, we have all of our marketplaces as well. So go, here we go. So right here, the containers, I'll give it a second for it to load up, but essentially we'll see all the containers show up here. The images have fully downloaded. It's in a matter of minutes. And all of our containers are loaded. So now we should be able to see all of our devices being connected. Take a second. Once the connection is established, give it a second. There we go. Almost all. There we go. So over here, we'll have, the ability to browse tags. We'll have the ability to essentially see our models. We'll have the ability to analyze the data. So you can see we've done a number of analysis right here, right? We talked about our applications. And then we also have the ability to connect to our databases, cloud platforms, brokers, such as Litmus UNS. And that's it in a nutshell.